Welcome to the stream. I'm Tandy. Today we're going to be starting with what I am calling Boros Blade, reminiscent of aggressive Stoneforge Mystic decks of the past. We're using Kellan the Fey-Blooded as the adventure side Birthright Boon to search up an aura or equipment card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. It has double strike. It's a 2/2 on the front side, and then other creatures you control get +1/+0 for each aura and equipment attached to Kellan the Fey-Blooded. Long story short, someone the other day said, "Hey, did you know Kellan could search up Chain of the Rocks?" And I said, "No, that's cool." And so essentially, Birthright Boon, if you have enough mountains in your deck, is a 3-cost Chain of the Rocks, and it adds a Kellan onto it. And it gives you the ability to play a singleton Embercleave, a singleton Maul the Skyclaves, which we're playing in the main deck, and one in the sideboard. So that you have extra things to do with it when removal is bad. Now, we are only playing one main and one board. I want essentially 2 Kellans and an Embercleave against matchups where I really want Embercleave so that I can tutor for it. And we'll be boarding out Chain of the Rocks against things like Lotus Field, Combo, Control decks, etc. And we'll be bringing in the Kellan and the Embercleave as compensation. The rest of the deck is very similar to a lot of the aggressive red decks that we've seen in Pioneer over the last few months. Kamano faces Kakazan, 8 prowess creatures play with fire. It's a very common 16-card core that red decks play a lot in multiple different archetypes. The Chain of the Rocks are another addition to the Boros version of those decks, playing 11 to 12 mountains so that you can enable the Chain of the Rocks being on time. We are going a bit bigger than the normal Soulscar Mage decks. We're playing Heartflame Duelist, which is the new adventure creature that has Heartflame Slash, 3-cost instant, deal 3 damage to any target. And then the front side is a 2-cost 3/1, says instant sorcery spells you control have lifelink. So Heartflame Duelist, pretty solid for both sides. The goal essentially is to have something to do every single turn. Aggressive decks often run out of stuff to do because they're low to the ground. They play a lot of 1-cost things, and our deck is trying to use adventure cards as well as Showdown of the Scalds to be able to continuously do things throughout the whole game while pressuring damage with Soulscar and Swiftspear. Speaking of Showdown of the Scalds, this 4-cost enchantment is absolutely ridiculous. Tiny text, let me read it for you. It's a 4-cost saga. Chapter 1 is exile the top 4 cards of your deck. Until the end of your next turn, you can play those cards. Big burst of card advantage against decks playing things like Thoughtseize, interaction, removal spells. Chapter 2 and 3 are the same, and they say whenever you cast a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So, long story short, Showdown of the Scalds essentially draws 4 cards and then lets you put a bunch of counters on all your stuff. It is quite honestly ludicrous. And we are enabling it by playing a few more lands than normal in our aggro deck. We're playing 22 instead of the normal 21 or 20. We are moving away from Spikefield Hazard in order to enable enough white sources for Chain of the Rocks and Heartflame Duelist, as well as enough mountains for Chain of the Rocks. Normally you'd play like 20 lands and 2 Spikefield Hazards or something like that. We're also playing Charming Scoundrel. This new 2-cost creature from Wilds of Eldraine adds a significant variation to your 2-drop. You know, you can ramp with it to get the Showdown quicker if you have Showdown in hand. You can loot away extra lands if you're flooding, or loot away dead removal spells against people where it's bad. But when you're really aggressive, you can also just have a 2/2 haste that says whenever your opponent kills it, they take a damage from the Wicked roll. And you can also just put the Wicked roll on something else. There's a whole lot of different things you can do. Charming Scoundrel is pretty sweet. The fact that it makes an extra permanent in 2 different ways makes me really want to try an iteration of aggressive red that plays more of the celebration cards. I think the celebration cards can be pretty sweet. They kill very quickly. But I built this last night and I thought it looked pretty sweet, so we're going to run it through the league. Sideboard forwarding announcement. This is for the grindy interactive matchups. I honestly think these might deserve to be main deck. They're very, very good. Bone Crusher Giant is pretty good with the extra damage, but Wedding Announcement is just a nutty card. And it's just not very good against slow decks, non-interactive decks. 2 copies of Destroy Evil. This is our extra answer to Shield Red as well as enchantments. One Embercleave that comes in with the second Kellan in matchups where you really want extra access to Embercleaves, but you don't necessarily need to even flood on them because we already have Kellan. Kellan can also come in a number of matchups where you just need more Chain to the Rocks too. The second Kellan maybe should be main deck over one of the Bone Crusher Giants, and maybe all the Bone Crusher Giants. Well, the more we play with the deck, the more we'll see how many Kellans we want main, but it's more of theory crafting than anything right now. I haven't played with the card yet. 4 Running Volley. This is mostly for mono white humans, but it's excellent against Greasefang as well as Spirit decks. And then 2 Tormod's Crypt for Phoenix, which has become much more popular as of late, as well as Greasefang. It says Boros Blade. Let's play a league. All right, we have a good curve here. We're going to go Play with Fire into Scoundrel, make a treasure into Showdown. And I'm just going to put one of the Play with Fires back so we can guarantee it. Special effects, you better not tell her. I'll teach you. I'll teach you. Duress you? Wow, what a joke. Weird. They took my Showdown. Weird. Land, yes, exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna play the Inspiring Vintage first so I can hold up Play with Fire in case they play the 2-drop Blood Tithe. Oh yes, Queen of Poners. Ooh, Mutavault. What is this nonsense? I think I'm gonna loot. Unless I draw another 4-drop. Showdown. So I think I'm just gonna make a 2/2. Turn it into a real threat. We would have loved, obviously, to make a treasure and play Showdown next turn. The Duress. Bit brutal. This only being a 2/2 means it does get hit with Stomp. We have Stomp ourselves if they play Fable. Trespasser, on the other hand, is a bit more annoying. Wonder if they get aggressive in attack. I don't even think that'd be that bad. Rakdos Transmogrify? No, they're just playing the Mutavault heavy version of this deck. Alright, I am going to attack now that we drew Soulscar Mage. Or not. If I attack and they just crew Bankbuster and block, I'm still 2 for 1ing myself. I'm gonna shock so I can maybe Bone Crusher. We have Giganta that we can maybe buy next turn or play Bone Crusher depending. Shieldred. Alright. Let's see if they get aggressive. We can punish them if they do. They know we have Play with Fire. Alright, I'm just gonna draw. There we go. Chain of the Rocks, great draw. We're not dead. Whereas before we were very dead. Alright, they're gonna crew the Bank Buster. I'm gonna attack with just Soulscar Mage, and we have the combo to kill the Bank Buster if they double block. If they don't block at all, I'll probably just kill the Bank Buster to stall them out because they only have 1 card in hand. Alright, so they have 1 card in hand. We have Bone Crusher at the ready to cast next turn. We got a lot of good top decks. 3 Showdown, all the Heartflame Duelists, all the Bone Crusher Giants are all pretty solid. It's going to be a little awkward fighting this Graveyard Trespasser. Oh, now this Misery Shadow with no hands. If we draw a burn spell, though, the Misery Shadow is dead forever, which is sweet. Heartflame Duelist kills it as well because of the Soulscar Mage. Let's just go Heartflame Slash on the Misery Shadow now. Since it's gonna exile it, they'll probably pump it 3 times, but it'll die on the end step. I don't have to attack this turn, but I also don't want the Trespasser to transform. I think I would double block the Graveyard Trespasser as well, if they decide to attack. Maybe not. If they get aggressive, that's almost certainly means that they have something to challenge if I do double block. All right, so this is going to transform. We can play 2 things to have it transform back. There's not that much in the graveyard, though, which is nice. All right, I'm going to play Bone Crusher Giant. We could have played 2 Heartflame Duelists, but once this transforms back, I would love to be able to kill it with Heartflame. Okay. All right, if they attack, they can gain 2. I don't think we chump block. I think we just take it. I would trade Scoundrel for Mutavault if they got really aggressive, I think. If we draw a land, we can go Heartflame Duelist from exile and then use Heartflame Slash to gain 3 and help win the race. All right, no plays is fine. I kind of want to Gigantha. That seems bad, actually. I guess I can just... I can't double spell. I'm going to buy Gigantha and play Heartflame Duelist. I think that's the play. All right. Figured it out. You got Popeyes without you? How'd you know? How'd you see my drink container? Whoopsies. Whoopsies. I think Heartflame Duelist is excellent, by the way. One of my favorite cards from the new set. Thought sees you. Take your Gigantha. Okay. Then no matter what we draw next turn, we can go deal 3 to this and shrink it, and then cast this, and then on the following turn, this will transform and die. All right, we'll just take the hit. There's no reason to do big blocks. We'll just take like 6 or whatever. We also gain lifelink off our Heartflame Slash, which is sweet. Nice, Lavamancer. Ooh, Stompies. Dang. All right, so they're going to transform it. So I guess I can just target this, play this, attack. I could also just play Gigantha. This is going to transform. Hold on to the mountain so I can have something to discard to Trespasser if I need. Do you like the Art of Duelists? Not particularly. It's the one that I got from Mana Traders. I like the other one a bit better, I think. This one looks a little too medieval. All right, so this is transforming. All right, let's go Heartflame Slash this. We'll discard a card. If they kill the Soulscar Mage in response, this was probably ill-advised. All right, we didn't get punished, luckily. And we'll just say go because the Glutton will transform back and die. And then next turn we can maybe attack with Jegman. Possible I should have gone attack with Bone Crusher. I felt like they had another removal spell, though. What was this? Crucible? Sure, sure. I wish this had lifelink itself. also. I know that would probably make it far too good, but that's just on my brain. That's what my brain says. G Baby, thanks for the follow. All right, we really need to have a big draw here. They're gumming up the board quite good, and we don't have a great way to break through. Soganzon's actually quite strong against Heart Flame and such. I think I'll attack with Giganta. A lot of follows. Gobo, G Baby. Mixlash, thanks for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. I figured they would just chump block. If they do some double blocking, we get to kill multiple things, which I'm also fine with, but... Malintent, thanks for the follow. I'm willing to trade Heart Flame for Bone Crusher. They get to discard 2 here. Let's hope they don't find... I guess they're probably not playing Croxa if they discarded... Or if they have Mutavault. But Croxa would have been scary. Still is. Another Shoulder, it's pretty scary. I'll trade Scoundrel for Shaman as well. Seems like they're not attacking anything. Okay. Okay, I kind of want to save this. I just still don't think I can attack that well. If I chain to the rocks this, I don't take damage at least. I attack with everything. They probably chump here, trade here, trade here, take 2. Then we have to fight this, and then whatever else they get off the top. I think it's actually better to just attack with just Giganta. If they want to do double blocks, we get to save the chain to the rocks for later. I'm going to do a thing that many of you probably wouldn't do. I'm going to play my land. Normally, when you draw your second land, you play a land that's in your hand that you've been holding. And so I don't want them to Thoughtseize away my Chain to the Rocks if they drew Thoughtseize. So I'm going to play my land to pretend like I have another land in hand. It's a very weird little thing. But when you're playing against Thoughtseize, a lot of times it's important to just, like, relax, you know? All right, my opponent has the control bug. I'm going to tell them to press control. All right, we're going to trade for the Goblin Shaman. He'll take a damage. Now I guess we hit the reflection. Oh, we drew another land. Unfortunate. Maybe we have to hit the Bone Crusher so that we can attack. That way they are incentivized to trade with Mutavault and the Heartflame, and the Reflection. They don't know about the Den, but we're basically tapped out here. All right, here we go. Flooded pretty bad this game, to be honest, but I think we're doing okay. This was the draw for turn, 100%. They would have played it last turn. So now they're going to trade with Reflection on something. I hope I draw a way to kill this, so... Alright. We're going to go for another Chain of the Rocks. This should be lethal if they have nothing. They didn't have anything last turn. Nice. Cool game. That was a cool game. Weddings come in for sure. I love the other Kellan here. And I love the Destroy Evils. And then we're going to be trimming some of the small ball stuff. I'm going to be trimming Kamano. And I think maybe the Scoundrel. But I'm actually thinking maybe some of the Prowse creatures, if that's weird. We just go more mid-rangey, interactive. The Maul, the Skyclaves can go. It's not really for this matchup. We'll just use Kellan to only get Chain to the Rocks. I think that's fine. We just have to kill their big things. And what Destroy Evil, Chain of the Rocks, Kellan fighting Chain of the Rocks all does that. All right, we got to cut 2 more. Bone Crusher's good. I'm going to trim 2 Scoundrels. Where Scoundrel is much better when you need to ramp, and against Rakdos, you don't really need to ramp. So I think trimming a few's okay. That was a cool game, though. We get to win a very long one against Rakdos, which doesn't happen often. And we mulliganed. We're going to have to mulligan again. This one, I think I'm still going to mulligan. All right, this is a 2-lander. We'll definitely keep. I'm going to put back. I'm not sure exactly what I should be putting back here, but I want Kellan to go get Chain to the Rocks if I need it. I want to keep Stomp because I want to keep all my 2-for-1s, basically. Could make an argument for cutting some number of Play with Fire, but every time I cut that card, I end up regretting it. A land would have been nice. Yeah, I think it's great special effects. And then if you fit a bunch of like double white or double red cards in your deck and you can't play Gigantha, I think playing 1 Embercleave in your main deck is fine. All right, this is fine. I think I just discard Bone Crusher Giant or maybe Destroy Evil. Guess it's Destroy Evil. It's just like a late game card to kill Shieldred, and I already have a Chain to the Rocks with Kellan. And I am going to go ahead and use Kellan. Oh, this is a sorcery. I thought it was an instant. I should have done this on my turn. That's a mistake. That's a mistake that won't happen again. All right, let's get this wedding announcement down. If they want to start putting fatal pushes on the wedding announcements, that's fine. This is kind of like our sideboard juke, right? The wedding announcements make a lot of their spot removal bad. Helps us weather the storm of sweepers. That's also why we board out Kamano. It lightens the load against like Hidetsugus and sweepers and stuff. All right, they took my other wedding announcement, but we still have Kellan for Chain to the Rocks. They didn't have anything. All right, let's attack for 1. I'm going to just use Kellan to go get Chain and say go. If their hand is just all 4-drops, that's also fine because we have stuff to interact with it. I should have left that mountain. All right, wedding announcement, do your thing. Another Croxel will discard Play with Fire. I'll probably play Kellan next turn. It's not a huge extra investment to the board. Well, now if we draw land, we're in business. I'm going to pressure them to have the sweeper here. Go for a throw, that's fine. These are going to chunk in. Thoughtseize you. All right, what do you take? They're going to Croak me next turn, probably. Or not probably, maybe. I still only have 3 lands. All right, I'm going to put a thing on it. So they're at 6, and we have 2 damage in hand and Chain to the Rocks for a blocker. Could have held the land in case we do get Croaked. But the Croaked here is, like, not scary this turn. It's scary next turn after a sweeper. All right, we'll attack with these, see what they do. If they don't kill 2 of them, they die to Bone Crusher. let's go get Chain to the Rocks. Say go. We can go end of turn, stomp them for 2. Then any burn spell off the top's lethal, no matter what they do. If they crooks me, they're dead to the chain and plus attack plus stomp. We'll discard chain, stomp them. Kellan finding Chain of the Rocks is great. I actually just want to go play more now with that in mind. All right, so let's Bone Crusher, stomp them, and then if they target Bone Crusher with anything, they'll die. All right, I'll just Heart Flame them. Put them out of their misery. I doubt they have some sort of thing that gains life. Lead with Kamano so that my Swiss Spear will gain a counter next turn. And I'm not 100% to play the Heart Flame Duelist to guarantee the counter gets on it from Kamano, so. All the Storm Giants. Would Rabbit Battery be a card? Can you get that off of... I don't know if I guess all the reconfigure things are equipment, so I guess you can. All right, we're going to go for Scoundrel. It's going to get a counter, and then I'm going to do an extra thing on it. This is going to max punish them for starting with Hall instead of red for removal. The Wicked Roll 2 also means that Fire Impulse doesn't kill the Scoundrel next turn unless they hit well. Well, they didn't even have Consider or whatever, so they're going to need some sort of 2-minute thing probably to kill this. Oh, it's blue-black? I guess they can have Fatal Push. Interesting. Shoulder Edict's fine. We'll get Swiss Spear down. Maybe play Heartflame Duelist 2 just as a 3-1. Alright, now we'll just play 2 Swiss Spears and use Heartflame to do burst damage. Are any Sword of X and Y any good? Maybe. I looked at a couple. They didn't seem great. But if you wanted to play one, they were on my radar for whatever it's worth. I just didn't think that they would be that great. I'm going to play Charming Scoundrel. I'm going to make it have haste. I like how versatile Charming Scoundrel can be depending on the matchup. If you're like flooding really badly, the Rummage is great. Sabotage. I thought they might have a counterspell this turn, which is why I really didn't want to burn the Heartflame Duelists to get extra prowess damage, but maybe it was worth. That way I use my mana more efficiently, and my threat comes down with haste the turn after, maybe. Alongside this, if I have a land. They can knock us off of white. I'm not too worried about that. They're dead on board to Heartflame Duelists if they don't do anything. Alright, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what they do. Shark Typhoon. Alright, so let's see how they block. They're probably going to block Etching. And then they're dead to Heartflame. Oh, they're dead no matter what. I just go face. Burn spells. Burn spells. Is Language still a card in the format? Not really, but it could come back if people play... Could come back if people play a lot of Beseech the Queen. All right, so it's control. We'll do another Kellan. Let's see. I want to get Chain to the Rocks out. I want the Kellan, the Embercleave, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe it's just Kellan and Wedding Announcements. I think we have to bring in the Cleave. I don't know if we want 2 Kellan, but maybe it's just Chain to the Rocks for Wedding Announcement, and we leave the Kellan in the board. And then we have 1 Kellan, 1 Maul. We don't worry too much about anything else. Did it backwards. I guess I can maybe trim and play with fire for the other Kellan because Kellan just goes against Maul. This makes me really not want to play with Gigantha as my companion. This specific instance. But that's okay. I just need something that's not Embercleave to bring in alongside. God, I've had a one-liner every opening hand so far, and I'm 3-0 in games. This feels good, actually. We'll put back one of the 2 Soulscar Mages. We'll try to Natural Curve. Soulscar into Birthright, into Kellan, into Showdown. They're probably going to kill all their stuff, but that's okay. That's what the Showdown is for. We'll lead with Soulscar because it's likely dead to push, and I'll save the Swiftspear for haste for later. May even go Swiftspear next turn instead of using Birthright. Because Maul the Sky plays isn't that good in this matchup either. It's just a thing that Kellan can go get. What's the thought process behind the deck? Would love a deck tech on YouTube. We did a deck tech before we started, Miguel. It'll be on YouTube with the league when we're done. Probably be up on Wednesday. All right, let's go Birthright. Should have shocked with Sacred Foundry. Minor mistake. See if they counter this with Censor or something. We can go Monster Swiftspear plus Maul, which is sweet. On 4 instead of Showdown, depending on what they have. I will play Kellan next turn, more than likely. Field Rune, not a big deal. Seed Shark. Okay, I can't cut all my removal then if I see them bring in Seed Shark. Is Kellan that boy? It might be. I definitely got to leave in like 2 Chain to the Rocks because of Crumb's Seed Shark. People have been using this as a sideboard juke against me, and I've been bringing in Rending Volley. I didn't this time, though, but... Well, I never watched Twilight Gremlin, so I don't know. The Seed Sharks don't fly, so if I can get Maul on top of something, it can do some serious damage. See if they want to kill or counter this with Fatal Push or something. Or is he going to bounce the Kellan? Go to Edict. Okay, that's fine. Kellan down. All right, next turn, let's just hope they don't have a counter spell for my Showdown. They can't really block with Shark because the Bone Crusher will pop it. The Incubator token's not that big a deal. They're stuck on mana too, which is nice for me. I'm going to attack first. I want them to do something to this so that I can resolve my Showdown. I might not even Showdown here, depending on what they do. Another Edict's fine. Alright, post-combat will Showdown. Let's hope they don't have Spell Pierce. Unlikely, but you never know. Mountain, Play with Fire, Charming Scoundrel, Wedding Announcement. Okay. So next turn we can play everything, and we can get counters if we don't play the Play with Fire, but I kind of want to hit another 1-drop off the top of the deck. But maybe every counter matters. All right, let's go. Scoundrel. I'm gonna make a mana. All right, so they're probably gonna counter the wedding announcement, which is fine. So let's go ahead and play it pre-combat. That way we get an extra counter on our Scoundrel. If they don't counter the wedding outfit, that's great. How many counter we're running? One main, one board. Make disappear. That was a tough one. Okay, so we're gonna get to attack for a good bit, though. I'm gonna go ahead and play with fire the Seed Shark. I'm gonna put a counter on the Soulscar Mage so it can block the incubators if those get out of hand, and then Stomp next turn can deal with the Shark permanently. And they're so low on mana that, like, I might just be able to churn them out. Come, you don't cast anymore? I cast all the time, nevertheless. Just because you're not aware of my schedule doesn't mean that I don't do the thing that you want me to do. I literally do commentary for Apex Gaming once every month and a month and a half. Check them out. Twitch.tv. No more MTG. Apex Gaming is not Apex Legends. It is a Magic store. Also, go follow me on Twitch. I talk about my shit all the time. No. All right, so Showdown again. Let's start with Kamano. Let's go counter on the Scoundrel. Prowess goes to the other one. All right, I'm going to attack with both and see what they do. If all they do is go like Incubator blocks the Bone Crusher Stomp, could be good. Maul next turn, maybe. But really, this turn I want to go Stomp Plus, and this incentivizes them to do stuff pre-combat. All right, so this looks like they're going to go ahead and incubate twice, maybe? Imagine me casting Apex Legends gameplay. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so before damage, we're going to Stomp. See if this works. Put a counter on the Soulscar Mage to kind of even them out. And if they counter this, I'll just buy Gigantha. What legend would I play? Mercy? Dig through time. That's a big one. I think I'm going to die. I'm just kidding. What was the one that could teleport or go through the wormhole? I know, I was just trolling. But I do get to play the Bone Crusher Giant and hopefully not die to Incubator plus whatever. The Transform doesn't exile and come back, so they don't get to turn on Fatal Push and use Incubator unless they hit land, Fatal Push, whatever. But I can definitely just die next turn. I guess it's only 8 and I'm at 9. Alright, so they're going to take 9. Wonder if I should have done this pre-combat, but... No. I was bouncing things back and forth. They are dead if their sweeper is Languish, or if their sweeper is Extinction Event. Those are a lot of incubators. That's Chromo Seed Shark, baby. Hey, they just conceded. Nice. Is this something we keep ever? I'm gonna keep this one. Run the play. We got Stomp. If we draw a White Source, we're in super business. If we draw any land, we can play Kellan and Bone Crusher. I don't know. This is probably on the weaker side of my keep, so I've mulliganed every 7-card hand so far. And this one at least has some lands and some spells. Oh yeah, I'm great at doing stuff too, Gremlin. My job is games? Okay. We're gonna make a treasure. It's gonna give me some action, guaranteed next turn. If they go Emery, we can stomp it. If they go Rona, we can chain to the Roxit maybe. I kind of wanted to rummage. All right, we'll be able to kill that pretty easy. All right, let's go stomp you, attack, and then next turn we can showdown before we do anything, and then that will give us a burst of resources that maybe gives us lands. Maybe White Source for chained. All right, they put a counter on it because they missed. That's pretty good for me, all things considered. All right, let's go wide, 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 wide. We need to find a White Source that's not tapped. We don't need to, but it would help a lot. And we did. All right, this should eat the Archaeologist, and then next turn we should just go bananas with 2 Swiss Spears. We can play Kellan tutor effect as well to go get chain. We can't play it next turn, but I don't think that'll matter. I think they're just dead. They found Jeskai Ascendancy. If they have a land, they can play it. They took the Howlfound instead because they're so far behind. Same guy you always play with on YouTube. You talking about Doomwake? I play Doomwake a good bit on YouTube. Okay, Maul the Skyclaves, not the best draw. But we do get to go... I guess it's pretty good, actually. So we'll put some counters on the Scoundrel. We can kill them this turn if they have nothing. I think. Have you updated Pixelborn? No, not yet. Not today. Alright, Spell Pierce got me. This is a lot of damage. Puts them to 1 until their lands are tapped. Why do a lot of people don't play Arena? Arena doesn't let you play Modern or Pioneer. Or Legacy. Or Cube. Or Commander. A lot of Magic you don't get to play is probably why. We'll get into some Destroy Evils and some Rending Volleys. I like the Chain to the Rocks. I don't like them all. I don't think we need Showdown. This is not really a heavy interactive matchup. Tormod's Crypt is like too narrow. I do like the Kellan a little bit because I think Chain to the Rocks on their creatures is just really important. And I don't mind the Embercleave. All right, so 4, 8, 4, 5. Oath Fire hits only a few things. If we're cutting Showdown, we can cut as many Scoundrels as will fit. Actually, I think I'm going to... Yeah, I think that's right. Draw Standard's good again. I mean, they just started supporting Standard. I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. I'm heavily invested in Magic, and I don't really want to play Standard or Arena, personally. So, like, they've done a bunch of stuff to push people away from Standard into other formats, and without pushing them back. They went all in on Commander and just kind of ruined their player base, if I'm being honest, but... Alright, we'll go in Sparring Vintage. I don't want to shock, but we have Running Volley on 2 if they play something. Amber, Mox Amber plus Emery or something, we can kill it. And then maybe play Heartflame Duelist next turn. They should put Pioneer on Arena? Yeah, it's not for lack of trying, I guess. They're not trying that hard, I guess. Heartflame Duelist comes down. We have a couple removal spells for their threats, but we don't have anything for Jeskai Ascendancy specifically. I mean, they already have Explorer, which is like 80% of it or something. Would you say the MTGO players are better than arena players? I think that's a fruitless question, and I don't want to answer it. It seems like you're asking a lot of really, I don't know, leading questions. I don't know what to tell you. People like playing Modern. People like playing Pioneer. Doesn't mean that people are worse or better. I mean, I think there are far more arena players than Magic Online players. Far more. Like, probably 10x, maybe way more. All right, well, we'll probably gonna chain the Skrelv, kill the Emery straight up. Treasure Cruise is bad for us. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Magic Online though is that your cards are yours, but that's not true on Arena. On Arena, on Magic Online, like you get to like keep your shit. It's honestly pretty great. I should have probably done this before the Chain to the Rock, so they didn't know I had another one. MTG has a marketplace. Yes, they do. They also have a rental service, so you can spend way less money to play Magic Online. And check out Man Traders. Can't sell them? You can absolutely sell them. What are you talking about? You sell, so the Magic Online has online currency called event tickets. Well, we're gonna lose to Saheeli. I have to change how I sideboarded the matchup, I think I need to keep, it seems like they're way more interactive after sideboard. Maybe I'm just full of shit though. Alright, let's play Kellan. Let's go Swiss Beer. I don't think I Chain to the Rocks a token. I will attack the Saheeli for one, though. I wish Running Volley hit Planeswalkers. Unfortunate. The graphics look old. I mean, do you really need good graphics for a game that plays fucking cards? It literally just mirrors tabletop Magic. That's what's always been so good about it. That and the engine. The engine is good, and it looks like tabletop Magic. I agree it doesn't look the best, but what are you gonna do, you know? Is it laggy? Sometimes, but not too often. Why did they click no? They must have clicked no on accident. They should have got back Retraction Helix. Rona, that's fine. All right, one to turn, kill this. We got a lot of stuff to do next turn, maybe. All right, let's go Chain of the Rocks here. We'll target the... let's see, what are we targeting? Probably this. And then we'll attack the Saheeli and see how they block. And then we got Embercleave coming down, and we can kill the Saheeli and whatever else. All right, so this will kill the Saheeli and leave them with basically 2 cards in hand, me with Running Volley and Embercleave on thing. Oh, it already has Double Strike. So next turn we can move it to the Swiss Spear. I just wanted to trample over and make sure that we killed this, but I guess it was unnecessary. Yeah, I wouldn't really put it like that, Primeval. It's more like Magic Online is full of people who've played Magic for a long time. You know what I mean? All right, Portable Hole on my Chain to the Rocks. So they're trying to set up a combo next turn, but it's just not going to go that well for them because of this running volley. So I'll probably move the Embercleave over to here to give it double strike and trample. Cost 3. I guess it depends on what I draw, if I want to cast spells or not. Because right now, this is threatening this Healy pretty hard, especially with the running volley on something. And it's also pumping this. Alright, so this will go to Healy. Do they both go to Healy? It's a Healy and see what happens. They have so few cards in hand. Alright, so this is just gonna kill it. I guess I could have killed Servo, killed Rona. I'm just gonna kill Rona to keep them off being able to loot. Their last card is probably Retraction Helix. They have Restless Spire to chump block, but this tramples. Attacking for 2, okay. Attacking for 3, awesome. So you get to Scry. This card's great. I think it's so good in the Jeskai Sensi shell because you can just animate it before you play a spell, and that gives you a mana creature that's like on color. Very similar to Wandering Fumarole, but it just costs so little to activate. I'm gonna go and stomp this token. I don't know what they can do with Jeskai Sensi and the token, but Retraction Helix is like a start that could be annoying. And I don't know. Also, if they have Spell Pierce as their last card, one of their last 2 cards, I can snipe it a little bit. If they play Rona as their last card, I might just die. I'm not threatening lethal this turn. Alright, they don't have it. I need Burn Spell. I offer you Soulscar Mage. It's not that hard for us to die next turn with the Restless Spire, if I'm being honest. I maybe should have held Stomp for it. This is 8. Yeah. Alright, we might be dead here. Let's see what they do. Retraction Helix lets them... If they have a 0-mana artifact, they can go infinite. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I should have waited with the Bone Crusher Giant. They did have Spell Pierce. I think I'll probably change my sideboard plan after this game. Did I bring in the Destroy Evils? Yes, I did. Okay. I really don't think Tormod's Crypt's worth it, though. How goes Studying the Blade? Well, we're 2-0 so far and up a game. Feeling good. Deck's playing well. I mulliganed every single game 1, or every single opening 7 so far except for this game. And I have not lost a game yet, which is nice. Bunch of one-landers. My 6s and 5s have been great, though. Well, I guess they don't have a 0-mana artifact, or else I would be dead already. Or conceding already. They just let the Helix resolve. So they bounce Portable Hole. So this is going to give them an extra look. They're out of white mana, though. I don't know if that was accidental or not. which could hurt them in some spots. They discard another Spell Pierce. Balaji doesn't untap stuff, and I think they've already played a land, but I'm not 100%. Oh, they found the Mox Amber? No, dude. Oh, that's so nuts. They found it? Man. Now they just get to bounce at infinite and then attack with a big flyer, and we don't have a flyer. Oh, it doesn't fly. It doesn't fly, chat. I lied. They don't have infinite mana, though. This is just infinite loot, infinite grow. Demic Sears over Crypts. Tormod's Crypt more for Greasefang than anything. I have they played a, it's impossible to know if they played a land without going back an hour. Alright, turn 8. Turn 8. Turn 9. Okay. They might not have played a land yet. So they can have, I guess their last card, they only have one card left over, and so it can't be mana plus a thing. But maybe it can be... Okay, so with Treasure Cruise, maybe it can be land plus thing. And I guess they can use this for mana, but they can't gain mana off of it necessarily. I guess they could play 1 mana Emery, and then another 0, and then they could kill me. Let's see if they have it. I was very close to conceding without realizing Restless Spire doesn't have evasion. They have 11 cards left in deck. They're bouncing Skrelv. That actually turns on Mox Amber. They have another Mox Amber. Okay. Okay. We're maybe dying. Do they run a fling effect? Not to my knowledge. It only taps for white, but, you know, white can be portable holes and stuff. I think that they're done. We'll see, though. They might not even have enough cards left in deck to kill me with the Restless Spire, necessarily. All they do just need a couple more zeros, I think, to do it. Lose to May. Oh, good call. Good call. Someone's clock's dying? Yeah, I don't want to win like that, though. I want to win right now. There's all the Mox Ambers are accounted for, so I don't think that they play more zeros. So I'm pretty sure they can't win. But we'll see. I mean, it's just Ascendancy. I'm sure they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Be so funny if they deck. It's more likely that they're not even necessarily dead next turn. I have to chump block. They have 2 blocker, or they have only 1 blocker. Skrelv can't block. I guess it doesn't have to be free spells. It can be white non-creature spells, but they've gone through multiple portable holes already. They can go like bounce this portable hole, get some more. The problem is like they don't need loots or whatever, right? They don't need white mana either. Yeah, we got stuff. They bounced a chain back to my hand. I forgot. I'm curious what they're looking for. I want to know. You know, if this were like a real game or whatever in real life, I would just be like, how do you kill me? Protection from red or white or something? I don't know. We haven't lost a game yet, though, and I don't think we're going to lose this game either. They haven't killed me yet. 2 cards in hand, 2 cards left in deck. It better be a good one. So if they do have another portable hole, they can go bounce Bone Crusher with Restless Spire, play the whatchalls-it, eat Heart Flame, and then if they have another 0 or another portable hole, they can do the Soul Scar. Same way. Is it rude to ask opponent? I do sometimes. Often early in a combo, if I know that they're infinite and that I'm probably dead, I'll just ask what their kill condition is. But in this instance, you know, we've gone through the whole thing already. I'm mostly just curious at this point, and I don't even think that they have the kill. Like, the things that they're discarding don't kill me, which means that only a few certain things left in their deck can kill me. And it's literally like portable holes number 3 and 4 or whatever. And portable holes 3 and 4 should do it. Mox Ambers 1 through 3 are in the graveyard already without any recursion. And they have to kill me this turn because they're going to deck otherwise. That's honestly, I don't want to toot my own horn. That is one of the reasons why I put Skrelv under Chain to the Rocks instead of one of the other ones, because I knew that they could kill my chain and get something back. Not to toot my own horn. Nice. All right, 3060. All right, we'll go turn 1 Soulscar Mage. Then we'll go Swiss Beer Kumano, and then we'll go Charming Scoundrel with the counter. Yeah, extra Chain to the Rocks in general are just great. Chain to the Rocks is so strong. Even at 3 mana, Chain to the Rocks is almost good. And the fact that it's like 3 mana on another card is even better, right? I'm gonna make a treasure. Drawing Showdown here is so good because they have a heavy incentive now to interact here. Informants, okay. Scare we. Well, for the trade, they'll almost definitely take it. If they do play Greasefang, they get to kill our Charming Scoundrel, but then we can go Stomp and play with fire to kill it. This is going to be a hard game to win, but I think we can win. All right, we'll go Stomp here, play with fire here. And then we can Showdown again next turn, thanks to the one we drew. Another Informant, so they're just going to discard it again. Let's hope that they don't have another Greasefang. Oh, Parhelion. That's a scary one. All right. Here we go. Got 1 on Adventure. 1 can be played till next turn. If they have the other Greasefang, there's nothing we can do about it, right? They have Sorcerer, Creature, Artifacts. So they can't tutor with Traverse if they have Traverse. Wither Bloom. They return Takanuma, so it's a very slow way to get it back, but it will get it back in a you know, a very specific period of time. I will take the 3. We're down to 7. We're dead to the Parhelia no matter what anyway. We don't have ways to deal 3 damage. So we'll go like Scoundrel, Swiss Spear, Stomp. Put some counters on stuff. Collective Brutality, okay. Alright, so we're just gonna Stomp, and I guess we want to get a treasure so that we can play the Kamano as well. Alright, big attack. Except they don't have Greasy. A classic situation. So we want Renting Volley, Tormod's Crypt, and Embercleave and Kellan. And we will cut Play with Fire, maybe Bone Crusher. Something like this. The showdowns are a lot better after sideboard because they have a lot more interaction. But we want to be really aggressive, very interactive. But we need the right kind of interaction. And Play with Fire just doesn't do a lot. We're going to mulligan this one. I could cut like a bunch of Chain to the Rocks maybe instead of Play with Fire. I just want a 2-lander that does stuff, please. Guess I have to put back cancel. Let's put back Showdown. Put back Chain to the Rocks. I've mulliganed so many opening hands this league, though. Like, I just want 2 lands in my opener. I even have 22 lands. Just hard to hit. 61 cards? That's accidental. Alright, we'll just go for the Wicked roll. Should have put it on the Swiss Spear. I like to diversify my threats a bit, but this being a 2-3 could have mattered quite a bit. Alright, well, if they just go Thoughtseize or Fiends into Greasefang 2 games in a row, there's like literally nothing I can do. So we're gonna go ahead and I guess we actually can do something. We can kill them, maybe. I guess they'll have 2 blockers, so it'll be really difficult. No Greasefang. No Greasefang. It's always Greasefang. Very cool. It's like my least favorite deck in all of Magic, maybe, is Greasefang. It's just so fucking numbskull. Brainless shit. I'm gonna keep. I don't love this hand, but I'm gonna keep it. First thing you do is look through vehicles. Only if you're playing Pioneer, man. I don't know what to tell you. That's not how playtesting works. You don't test for formats that you don't play, and like they don't test for Pioneer at all. They've basically admitted to not doing it. Now they have been testing for Modern with their with Modern Horizons. They bring in specialists. It's not a shame. It's just a game. Things fall through the cracks. It doesn't matter. What matters is that it's very clear to anyone who plays Greasefang one time that it's probably too good. I'm just gonna say go. I want to get I want to get extra value out of my Heartflame Duelist. This might be a longer game. Oh, they're mono black. Okay, so now that they're mono black, my game plan changes. I maybe should have played Heartflame. Alright, we're just gonna deal 3 to this. I'm gonna discard probably the Battlefield Forge, but maybe the Chain to the Rocks. I just don't want to lose to Shieldred. It's so high rolly. I don't know. I don't think it's that high rolly. I think that there's some matchups that just have answers. And they have good explosive draws and answers. I think that the deck falls short in a metagame full of mono green. I think it's quite good in a metagame full of Rakdos. Go blank has been called. All right. All right, so they're going to plus probably discard their last card. Our Impulse smashes Greasefang. Yeah, there was like a huge lack of there was a huge lack of Phoenix for a long time also, and that certainly contributed. All right, so we'll play the Heart Flame. If we draw Stomp, we'll do that instead. But I don't want to like buy Gigantha with Liliana threatening to tick up. So we'll try to clear this. Hopefully they just draw tapped land. Hive number 3. Actually, hopefully they drew Invoke Despair. I think that's the one. All right, we'll trade Lily for Heart Flame. Buy the Jigman. I should have played a land in case they drew Go Blank. But I want to hold it in case they drew Liliana number 3. It's like, you can only play around one of them. All right, well, we can play around that one too. Noggin Whack. Land. Wrong land. So you can sack it to scry 2. They pitch Fatal Push. It's pretty scary, honestly. But they know I have Gigantha. All right, so we have not that many Chain to the Rocks left in our deck. We can trade if they attack. Very few ways to get Shoulder off the table anymore because we drew a bunch of chains before. But Kellan's after sideboard. We have a Kellan and we have a chain that can deal with it straight up. Bankbuster is a heck of a draw. All right, I'm going to attack with the Jegman. They're just going to ignore it and draw a card. I might not even I maybe should not be attacking. Yeah, I don't know if that's true either, Nick. I was talking about Lightning Bolt yesterday on stream with somebody, and I think Lightning Bolt would be too good. Like, it would make Jun too good. Rakdos, Mono Black, or not Mono Black, like Black Red and Jun, like those types of Thoughtseize decks that are just heavily interactive. Them having Lightning Bolt, I think, would be too much. Fatal Push is already messed up. Yeah, see, it's just so hard to get a leg up on Shieldred on either direction. Kellan. Oh my god, we did it. We'll get Chain to the Rocks. We'll go Chain to the Rocks on a basic mountain so it doesn't get blown up. We can Kellan next turn. Attack for 8. We're not in danger of dying. Oh yeah, the one of Kellan. We had the Chain of the Rocks as well, so we had 2 draws at it, but Kellan was by far the best draw. I think the second one is definitely going to be making it to the main deck. Playing this with Chain of the Rocks one time is just like, bingo. It's so good. The Maul of the Skyclaves is just icing on the cake whenever the Chain of the Rocks is bad, right? And then it can just be Embercleave if you don't want to play Gigantha. Maybe we play... I just also don't think Chain of the Rocks and Embercleave go into the same deck. The same way Maul of the Skyclave doesn't really go into a Chain of the Rocks deck, right? You just want your creatures to stand on their own, and you want your removal to clear the way for them. But the way that Kellan works, you just get to play one kind of for free. Maybe there's some sort of different non-Maul the Skyclave card we would want, though. I just thought it was the most efficient of the bunch. Weedle, thanks for the follow. So they can draw a card with this, make a 1/1 to block. We can play Kellan and a 2-drop next turn. What about one of Shadow Spear? Maybe there's one Shadow Spear is better than the Maul. But Maul is like a lot of burst damage. Beseech the Mirror. Dang. That's a good draw. If they have Extinction Event, they get both of these. If they have the deal, like, Destroy Enchantment card, I'm going to be kind of pissed off. Main deck, the, like, Destroy an Enchantment. Rankle's Prank. Okay. I think I'm going to kill this 1/1 so they can't crew with it. Maybe this is bad, but I feel like that's one of the few ways they actually have to crew Bankbuster. And one hive attack's not lethal, and they can't activate both hives. Waste not. Guy Reach can get them something. They gotta find a way to kill Kellan. Or block Kellan. No way they drew another Beseech. Are they gonna draw the game with Rankle Sprank? If they have another Rankle Sprank, they can draw the game. Okay, so they put us in chump block mode, but we're trading. I thought this, I don't know why I thought this needed more to... Okay, attack. 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, 3. So we're dead to land. We have to attack, though. We can't even block the hives. Another Waste Not. Guy Reach. We're going to discard the land. And I don't want to discard the land and give them a bunch of mana. I guess holding is bad. Because of this. 2, 4. So they can activate one hive. They can activate Sanitarium. They can activate Castle, go to 1. Another bunch of mana. This should be good for us. They can Castle down to 1 and find removal for this. I wonder if I should have played my land. I hope they brick. Scary. Yes! That was sweet. That was a sick game. That was fun. All right, so we're definitely going to be bringing in Destroy Evil and Wedding Announcement and Kellan. I don't think we want the Ember Cleave. That one's way better when our opponent's ignoring us. It's not really good when they're interacting with us. Play with Fires can come out. I think Maul the Skyclaves is fine-ish. But we can maybe cut it. I like the Charming Scoundrels. I like the Bone Crushers and the Heart Flames. I really like the Kamanos as well. This is a tough sideboard. Heart Flame kills the lands, deals some direct damage, doubles up with some of the shocks to kill Shieldred, but we are cutting some shocks. Maybe the Bone Crushers are loose. I'm going to cut Maul. I'm going to cut 2 Kamano. I'm not really sure what to do. I think we're maybe overboarding. It should probably just be Weddings come in, Play with Fire comes out, because they don't have Fable or trust the 2-drop. Sounds pretty good. We have a straight-up answer for Waste Not on 2. We want it. All right, do I want to just play my thing into a definite Fatal Push? I guess that's not definite. They don't always have the Fatal Push. And I don't think I can just not play it. I do sometimes choose to do other things, though. I am going to go ahead and Destroy Evil this. I think that combined with some of their discard, it can really be something that gets them really far ahead. Another Waste Not's a little awkward. Let's go Scoundrel. We'll go Wicked Roll. I'm going to put it on the Scoundrel. Again, I know I can put it on the Swiss Spear, but I want to diversify my threats a bit, and I think Swiss Spear is already a higher value target. If they hit us with Go Blank, I'm not sure what to do. Wow, what a draw. It's just like always the best draw. So good. All right, we're definitely just gonna add a second Kellan to our deck. Kellan's just looking like fire. They're already at 5. Another Waste Not. All right, so they get 2 2/2s and 4 mana. That's pretty good. That was a really good turn for them. Especially if their 4 mana plays another Shelly. Nothing. The 4 mana plays nothing. That's good. That's good. All right, so Wedding Announcement's a easy cast here because pumps my Swiss Spears. We'll shove in. They'll go double block 1, take 4 down to whatever, or just trade here, take 4 down to whatever. They could go block block. We get to draw a card. All right, so if they go to 1 and then the Wicked Roll's in play, that's really bad for them. So they're going to go chump and trade and then go to 2. And now they're dead to a lot of stuff off the top. Showdown's excellent as well. I know, special. Feels good, though, doesn't it? Feels good when your decks just work. This should do it. They should be dead here. Okay, we'll just stomp. Let's not play sloppy. Let's attack. If they have an answer, we'll stomp. If they have nothing, we'll just let them die to these. All right, awesome. So a very easy 4-1 with Boros Blade. This build was very well centered to fight the mid-range interactive decks like Rakdos. We played against Rakdos, Mono Black, Blue Black Control. A lot of Thoughtseizes were cast at us, and the only Thoughtseize deck we lost to was the Thoughtseize that stripped our interaction and then beat us with a combo, the Greasefang deck. And so I think that means that our deck is a well-adjusted aggressive deck with a pretty good late game, thanks to the nature of the adventure cards as well as the Showdown of the Scalds. Charming Scoundrel was awesome. Hyper aggressive when paired with the Prowess creatures. Ramps in a Showdown. Being a body with haste for the Showdown turns where you get to put counters on stuff. Being effectively a 1-mana card when you're doing Showdown turns because you can generate a treasure. Also very good. Heartflame Duelist was pretty sweet. I might trim down to 3. The 3-cost deal 3 was a little hard to stomach sometimes, and a 2-cost 3/1 got challenged in combat a little too easily, but overall I really like the body. The only changes I would make to this deck going forward is I would add a second Kellan, and I would trim a Heartflame Duelist. The sideboard was pretty solid. I love the Wedding Announcements, I love the Running Volleys, and the Tormod's Crypts. The Showdowns were great, the mana base felt good, and Giganta was nice. So this has been Boros Blade. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. I'm Tandy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.